you so much. He has BC at 4:35 and he has to reach back at Parel. So we're going to have a 10-minute session with him. But Ajay, you have always supported us while we were there in India Bulls. And I think that the support we got from corporates is something that saw us through the difficult time of the pandemic. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All yours. Siddharth, you're here.
I'm here. Okay. Come.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shahani. Thank you, Ananda sir. A very warm welcome to Mr. Shah on behalf of the entire faculty team. And we do have some students also who have joined us. Dear faculty members, my colleagues, Mr. Shah joins us from Ernst & Young, where he is a partner and he specializes in the trending and really, really upcoming sectors of telecom, media, technology, education, investment banking, which basically is the service vertical of EY. He's a chartered accountant by profession, and I don't think he needs any more introduction than that. Over to you, Siddharth.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, for coming. For everyone, I think there's a special story that I would like to share. Many of you know about our transition, but before that, Mr. Shah was actually instrumental in starting our journey and helped us a lot in actually preparing ISME in terms of ensuring that it could be built and presented as a good opportunity for someone to partner with us to actually take this forward to the university. So he and his entire team, manager of his called Salome as well, who helped a lot. And I think many of you interviewed with the EY team as well during, it was October of 19 when this was happening. So Mr. Shah, thank you for all your support. We have a mix of design school, management school, film school, and really what we would love for you to do is share your perspectives on what's happening post-pandemic in some of these sectors, what are some of the major trends that you're seeing, and also advice for our students who are going to start their journey as young professionals. What must they focus on? And that's, of course, you know this better than anyone else, but thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, thank you everyone. Dr. Sahani, you've been instrumental in this whole thing. You guys have done wonderful in terms of not only building a world-class institution, but I think changing lives. And that is something that I feel I attribute this to nation building. With so many lives, I think education is one thing which changes life of people. And I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. Sid, obviously, I have interacted. I'm not going to call you Mr. Sahani, whatever. So please, calls me that. Yeah. So so we've interacted for the last 2 years. I think it's been his energy is something which is phenomenal. Okay, so my idea here was to meet Dr. Sahani and just to say, but I'll just quickly say what we are seeing in terms of what's happening. I keep telling my teenage daughter, that the world in next few years is going to change the literacy definition. And I think literacy will not be whether you're educated or uneducated. It's whether you are technology literate or technology illiterate. Right? That's how the world is going to move. And when you say technology literate, is not using PowerPoint, Word, Excel. Those are applications, right? That anybody and everybody can do. My 75-year-old mom can also use WhatsApp. So if she can use WhatsApp, I think everybody can use technology. Application of technology is very easy. Technology has actually taken a disruptive turn. In any facet of our life that we look at, I think technology is there, right? Simple, your bajiwala also gives you Google form or WhatsApp messages he takes and does a home delivery. So in the small or big form, across businesses, I think technology is playing a key role. So one thing I would say to all the young students is just get extremely involved with technology. I think all boundaries are broken when it comes to technology. It's a totally disruptive turn. Anything and everything that traditional businesses have done, I think, has got disrupted by technology. So we come up with so many, we hear so many ideas, we hear stories that promoters are trying to do, and it's just amazing. The kind of problem solving that we see, kind of ideas that come up. And we just scratch our heads to say, shit, if these guys can think of it, why can't we look at it? I'll just give you a couple of examples. We just did a transaction where husband and wife from a small town of Jaipur started English tutoring to tier 3, tier 4. The company is called Hello English, and it just got acquired by Byju's. The amount of capital they invested was 10 lakh rupees. In over 5-7 years ago or whatever, they sold this company for 200 crores to Byju's. Husband and wife, very, very average, but is the idea that got sold, and that's what made the difference. I can go on, I can give you so many examples of the kind of ideas and what we are seeing in terms of, the way people are backing. There's this company, and I'm trying to give education examples so that you guys would relate to this much better. There's a company called Bright Champs. It's a pre-revenue stage company. Okay, it is probably doing some $10 million ARR, means less than $1 million a month in terms of revenue. Azim Premji, through his Premji Invest, invested $60 million in the company at a $500 million valuation. So we are just saying that these days companies are born as $500 million companies, right? They're just new companies, but they've got a $500 million valuation, and there are a couple of investors along with Azim Premji who have invested. So what has happened is, if you have an idea, there is enough and more passive capital that is available, which is what is making a huge difference. And be it cloud computing, be it AI, fintech, across the board, B2C companies. I'm sure you all know about Nykaa and what it did. But amazing in terms of what you can do, what you can deliver. Simple examples like Jio has recently acquired a company which does, and it will sound so funny, but it's cow tracking. It's made for farmers. To say farmers who would have cows and goats, rather than me running after during the day to find something, I would put a tracking, and through my mobile phone I'll be able to track. Right? Very, very innovative. But Reliance loved it, and they said, boss, this is, if I have to go mass into farmers, this is what will sell. Because once farmer has his app on his phone, I will have all the data of those guys. So people are thinking so innovatively on the kind of ideas that you can think of. I mean, I can go on the kind of ideas, and we just feel, what the hell are we doing, right? It's just, but I would think the youngsters, especially people who are fortunate to get into these institutions like this institution like Atlas, I think sky is the limit. If you can use your 2 or 3 years in this institution to open your mind to say, what is the new problem solving idea that I can bring into this world, very likely you would probably hit a jackpot. Because if you have a good idea, there are enough people ready to back. So that's one thing I would say. From a faculties, again, I don't think I have any, you guys are far more senior, and you guys do a lot of similar nation building work, so it will be wrong for me to give any advice. But my daughter studies in Cathedral, and she is in class 12, and I happened to talk to one of the teachers, and and she moved to IB from ICSE, right? Up to 10th she did ICSE, and then instead of ISC she moved to IB in Cathedral itself. One of the huge difference I saw was they just opened her mindset. ICSE was Ratta, I call her Ratta curriculum, right? You have to anything and everything. If you are able to mug well, you will get good marks. Versus IB, and what teachers made them think about possibilities, ideas. I think it just did a phenomenal job. So as facilitators or as faculties, if you guys can just encourage people to come up with newer ideas, come up with some solutions. Who would have thought to say space tourism would even be an idea, right? And one crazy guy like Elon Musk, and it's reality. So it just becomes a very, very different world that we are in. There is a lot of consolidation happening. So wherever stronger businesses are seeing disruptive ideas, which they can, it will help their business, they are very ready to buy, either ready to buy a company or ready to buy a talent. So in my view, I think it's a very, very interesting times. Next 10 years, I mean, I sometimes, I'm scared to think, because at the age of 45, the number of changes that we did, from a trunk call to mobile to internet, which I'm sure a lot of people sitting in the first 3 rows would relate to, and not many people sitting behind. But I'm scared to even think next 20 years, if I survive, what would the world be? I mean, it is anybody's imagination, right? Anybody says, oh, this cannot happen, and I'm ready to argue, and I'm thinking, that there is so much work happening. China, there is so much money being put into driverless car. 2025, 2027 is their goal. And it is at a mass scale. So, if you think a country like India, how will I ever, I mean, I'm scared, how will I ever sit in a driverless car? Kahan se koi aadmi kahan aa jayega, whatever. But they are actually working on it to say, make it a reality. So it is just unbelievable with the kind of world and times we are in. On one hand, it's a great, one way is to say we are really lucky or fortunate to see it. And second time, we really worry that, it's just a question of time when I will become redundant, right? I keep telling my juniors to say, we are in investment banking, and very soon someone will come up to say, okay, which is the right fit company, match it, banker, what is the right price, buyer, seller, sit on the table, agree on the terms, and the deal is done. What will we do thereafter, right? So it's just a question of when things will happen and not whether things will happen, the way I see it. So my serious advice to everyone would be, it's a great opportunity. If you are young, if you are 20, 25, less than 25 in this country right now, and you are privileged to be getting into a good education background or good college, I think you have a great opportunity. 25 years later, you can only blame yourself thereafter, okay, for not being able to do what others have been done. Because, and I'm saying this, I say this to my daughter, right? She's 18, and I keep telling her, saying that, if you want to follow a path that I followed of being education and good job and good career, you will make money. Yes, you will have success. But you will always find those disruptors who made some crazy money, and with the kind of things that we do. So we work very closely with Byju's. So they did this Akash, which is a test prep company, and it was our idea to Byju's, and we got a 30-minute slot last year in September, October with Byju. And we told him, saying that why you should look at an offline player. And I mean, at 20 minutes into the discussion, I still remember he said, do you even know what you're talking? You're telling an education company, a tech company, to buy an offline company. And my instant response was, हाँ sir, वहाँ पे शाहरुख खान नहीं बिकेगा. Only marks will sell. When you talk about test prep, it's only marks will sell. वहाँ पे शाहरुख खान नहीं बिकेगा. And the call ended. I thought we will never see him. We were not convinced, whatever. 7-8 days later, we get a message from his office that he wants to have a follow-on conversation. And the rest is history. We completed this deal. It was $1 billion deal. We signed the term sheet on 2nd of January. We closed the deal. We signed the main deal on 2nd of April. Historic. No buyer, no seller, no lawyers, no bankers met ever in person. $1 billion deal, none of us met in person. And entire thing happened on Zoom. 1 year ago or 2 years ago, someone would have told me something like this is possible. For even a 20 crore deal, I would have laughed. वो तो टेबल पे बैठे बिना तो होता ही नहीं है. But $1 billion deal, and this is not via, right? I was personally involved. Nobody met anyone. So anything can happen in this world. I think we are in really, really interesting times. I think one thing COVID has done is, yes, it has put a lot of restrictions. It has done a lot of things that curbed our freedom. But it has just changed the rules. It has completely, anything and everything is possible. Never say never is really true after COVID. Right? So I would really wish all you guys really a very, very good luck. I hope out of this team we see few billionaires very soon, and it's totally in your hands.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If I could request Minal, Professor Minal, who's the head of the chair.
Just one before Minal comes in. So I have a student of mine who, HR student who talks to me, Ajay, occasionally, doing very successfully in one of your big four, not the EY, but another big four. Yesterday night he had a call with me and he said, what's happening? I said, tomorrow, we're getting these speakers and we're getting Ajay Shah. Man, he's the biggest deal maker. Ask him, how does he do those deals? Thank you for telling us now how you do those deals.
Thank you. Minal, on behalf of the school, she's the chair of the faculty development program. If you could give him a token of our appreciation. Come. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Shah.
Thank you, guys.